Alright folks, I'm Matt and welcome to my top 100 board games of all time. Woo! I'm excited, and it's not just the caffeine talking. Alright, so let's get into this. Oh man, lots of good games here. At number 40, it was number 27 last year, so it drops 13 spots, but it's still a good game from Gale Force 9. Out of print, called Sons of Anarchy. Sons of Anarchy, you are a biker gang moving around the board trying to collect guns or, drugs and convert that into money. Each gang has their own unique ability in the game, and you're also using guns to fend off other people, and of course using drug money to cash in for more drugs, or maybe more guns, or maybe more money. Who knows? There's so many choices in this game. Now, this is a game that is sorely underrated online. I saw someone giving away like this game and all the expansions, new in shrink, for only $10. And I was like, are you serious? I don't even think that's such a great deal for that game. It is so underrated. I guess a lot of people who play board games didn't like Sons of Anarchy or didn't watch the show. And you really don't have to watch the show to enjoy this game. Now, it drops on my list for only one reason. The missus has not played it yet. The missus is a huge Sons of Anarchy fan. She keeps telling me every year, yeah, I want to play that with you. But every time we played it this year, she was busy or she did something else or she just didn't want to play it. But she told me that she is going to try to play it with me next year. Now, if she really likes the game and we start playing a lot more, wow, this game shoots back up on my list. But I think it's a fun game. I really do. I really feel sad because I think this game is very underrated from a lot of people. You see it on clearance everywhere online. I'm like, oh, what a great deal, because I may have paid a little bit more than what clearance prices are at right now. Either way, that doesn't matter. Great game. Sons of Anarchy, my number 40. My number 39 was number 52 last year. That's right, it goes up, up, up. 13 spots here. It is called Deep Sea Adventures. The game is basically this big. And you open it up, you're these divers on a submarine, and you're diving down, as far as you can. Just kind of push your luck to grab as many treasures at the bottom of the ocean. The further down you go, the better the treasure, and then try to get back up before you run out of air, which always happens. You run out of air and die. Every time we play this game. In fact, it's only supposed to be 3 rounds. Our house rule is 4 rounds. And if anyone can get any treasure back, they're probably going to win because we're all super greedy. And we all make an agreement to go far down to the bottom, which I always break. And I always turn around like a chicken and try to get up. And I kill us all. It's just a fantastic game. The more treasure you have, the more air you're taking in. So, of course, it's kind of like the Adventures a little bit, but underwater. I saw the game drop in price a lot this year. I told you 25 bucks, not worth it. But 20 bucks, 18 bucks, I'm seeing it. It's a little bit more in that range. But there's so much playability in the game, to be honest, 25 is probably worth it as well. The more I play the game, the more I absolutely love it. We have a great time. We laugh all the time, especially when there's a bunch of dead bodies in the ocean every round after playing it. But Deep Sea Adventure, awesome game, my number 39. Number 38 is a new game into my collection. It came in fairly early this year. It's called Dice Forge. And Dice Forge, you are building dice, meaning the dice are complete. You can pop them out and put new dice faces in there to make your rolls more powerful, to get more gold, to buy more stuff, or to get more, I don't know what it is, some kind of power in the game. There is no theme in this game, by the way. Zero theme. It looks really nice, but the theme kind of is not there. It's just about building those dice and rolling and getting better rolls each time to get more die faces on your die, to get even more incredible rolls, to get more points in the game. It is so much fun. The more players you have, the more fun this game is. I know there's a few other games I think that do the same thing. I'm not even interested in them because Dice Forge, to me, solid game. That's why it's number 38 on the list. Number 37 is another new game to my list. It's called Aladdin's Dragons. I love this game. I don't know how to explain it either. You're basically putting down these tokens in certain orders of where you want to go, but no one knows what your priority is or how much, how many points you're putting into that certain area because everything's face down and you don't reveal it till after everyone's made placements. And there's 3 levels. One is going through the dragon's caves to steal treasure. The second level is the city, where you're trying to negotiate with those treasures, get different things, maybe cash them in for other little treasures you may need. or just getting other little powers in the game. And then the third level is going into the Sultan's palace and actually stealing something, a token from his palace. And that's going to be the ultimate game winner there. So whoever has the most of those would win after certain rounds. Man, this game is good. There are genies you can get, but you need a lamp. You can get wish cards, but you need a lamp to use them. And if you can use a genie, oh, you're super powerful that round. Or getting first place marker. Man, that's another thing you want to fight over, because you want to be the first one to start placing tokens down. It's great. There are so many different options in this game of what you can do. And for a game that's this old, that is this amazing, that is a testament. I got this game because I heard some good things about it. I didn't know anything about it. I looked at the game board and I went, oh, I hope this is a good game because it looks pretty sweet. And it was phenomenal. I enjoyed it more than my little nephews, but thankfully my board game group absolutely adores it too. So phenomenal game. Aladdin's Dragon. This is another one that needs to come back in print. Really does. But for right now, it's number 37 on the list. My number 36 was number 42 last year. This is another one that shot up, went up about 6 spots. And it's where you get to run your own restaurant. It is Ristorante Italia. Ristorante Italia, I guess. Fantastic game. Basically, you're trying to get this 4-course meal, a starter, a first and second course, and then a dessert. And you can do 2 of those 4-course meals in the game, depending on how well you manage your things. But you're also going to the market, you're gathering resources, you're building plates, you're trying to appease food critics and make your restaurant bigger and better. You're improving as a cook, so you can do better menus that give you higher points in the game. You're getting bottles of wine in this game, and if they pair with certain meals, you're going to get bonus points from that. You're also maybe getting extra tables or nicer tables in your restaurant, which could get you more income in the game. There is a ton of strategies here, and you need to play the advanced version. It's not really that advanced, to be honest, and it is so much fun because it adds so many other things into the base game. I really love this game. After the last time we played it, I think we were just all like, oh, what a great game. We wanted to make that one final dish. We almost had it. And to be honest, at the end of every game, there is no clear winner. When you're playing those last few rounds, you don't know who the winner is. It could be anyone. It really boils down to that last thing. I like the bidding in this game too, because it's blind bidding. You open up your palms, winner loses all their cash, but they get whatever it is. Loser halves their cash down, halves the cash down. So it hurts you if you don't win. So if you want to make a serious bid, make a serious bid. If you're not making a serious bid, you're going to lose money, and that's not going to help you out. I love that about this game. And then there's how many restaurant-themed games are there out there? I have no idea, but this is one that I absolutely love. That's why it's number 36 on the list. Number 35 is a new game that I got early on this year, and the more I play it, the more I love it. It is called Big City. Big City, you're basically getting city plans to build certain hotels or businesses or residential areas or parks or factories in certain areas, and trying to build. You're basically planning out this whole city. You're also trying to get new subdivisions, and you want control over all the contracts so you can start building it to your specifications. You also have a subway system that you can play that will give you bonus points when you build around the subway. Talk about a game where you have to plan for the long goal. I mean, this is one where you're constantly watching where other people are grabbing property and neighborhoods on. You never want anyone to get a monopoly in a neighborhood, because then they can do whatever they want and get the most bonus points out of it. There's also things like churches and post office places, and I can't remember what the other one, libraries or something, that can also get you more points in the game, and you're just slowly looking out. One of my favorite things is we finally figured out, I was the one that discovered how important the subways are. My friends, because there's so many options in the game, they thought, oh, subways, no, that's a long payoff. That takes too long. That probably won't work. And I started controlling the subway. Ooh, and when I started playing things around I think I had this subway surround this neighborhood when I placed it, and I got buku points, and I just started loading down on point after point. I came from only having 6 points in the game to circling everyone on the board, because I was just laying it down, because I had controlled the subway system and the route, the cards where I wanted that route to go. a lot of heavy thinking in this game, but it doesn't really slow you down because you don't know what the other players are playing. You know, you don't know what their goal is. So everyone can have a million goals that can lead them to this it's different gameplay. I don't even know if I'm doing justice describing it this way. I just know that the more we play this game, the more we absolutely love this game. This is another game that's out of print, and that is a shame. They need to bring this back in print. Fantastic game. Big City, number 35. Number 34 was number 33 last year on my list. It only dropped one spot, and it's a phenomenal game. It's Cleopatra and the Society of Architects. In this game, you're an architect for Cleopatra, and you're trying to build her temple. And you're building sphinxes or pyramid, you know, little statues. You're putting tiles, mosaic tiles out in the garden. You're putting columns on the side. Oh, also you're using the board, the box. You're using the box to build around it, and by the end of the game, the board looks beautiful, and of course everyone wants to take pictures of it. This is kind of like Master Builder, another game I told you about that looks nice at the end of the game. You're like, ooh, look how pretty it looks. So many things. You're trying to get these cards to build these things. You're using cheat cards, but every time you do, you're getting corruption. Now, everyone's going to get corruption in the game. You just don't want too much of it, because if you get too much corruption, the Cleopatra, when it's all said and done, she's going to kill off the most corrupt architect. And so second place better have enough money. It's fantastic because you're always trying to all your corruption is held in a little pyramid, a little paper pyramid, so you never really know what everyone else has, but you kind of keep in your mind, okay, I think that player has a few, they got a few, so I can get a few here, but I don't want to get too many. There are rounds where you can bid money, you know, which is points in the game, to get rid of some of your corruption, and you definitely want to win those. But if you bid too much money, which is what I did one time, I had the least amount of corruption, yet I had zero money, hardly, compared to the other players. So I like that balance in the game. Now, I heard that they are reprinting this, I think in 2019, and if so, you got to get you a copy, because I think it's a phenomenal game. Cleopatra and the Society of Architects, my number 34. Number 33 was number 31 last year. This one only moved down 2 spots, and it's a fun game too. It's Coal Baron, not the card game, the actual board game, where you are doing bids. And the unique thing about this bidding mechanism is that you're bidding, you have a bunch of little, I don't know, they're not really meeples, they're just wooden pieces, and you're trying to bid as many as you can, because if someone outbids you, you don't get those meeples back, they just go off the board. And so you got to have, it's almost like you got to manage how much do I want to give this, and you know, if I do 1, someone's easily going to get 2 and boot me out. That's a waste of time. Or maybe you just did 1 to see if there's anyone who wants that. Does anyone want that bad enough? Maybe I won't put as many there, because you don't know what other people's gameplay is. Of course, you're trying to get a lot of actions. You're trying to mine your coal mine, fulfill contracts and everything. There's different ways to fulfill contracts. The game goes over 3 rounds. It's very easy to teach and very fun to play. Plus your own little player board with that little mine shaft elevator that can go, it slides up and down on the game board. That's so cool. It's so cool. There's also, when you're building your mine, you got to balance it out. There's a lit area and a non-lit area, and you need to balance it out, or that's going to hurt you at the end of the game. And like I said, the game scores, 3 rounds, where the first round you don't get many points. The second round you get a lot more. In the third round, you're banking them points now. And you think, man, I'll never get around this board. And at the end, someone's usually crossing, making it cross the 100-point mark at the end of the game. But it is so much fun. You're shocked at how much fun this is. I've never played the card game. I don't want to, because the board game is where it's at. Coal Baron, fantastic game, my number 33. My number 32 was number 12 last year. Oh no, another big one that's broken down and fallen about 20 spots, and it is Descent. Descent is your classic dungeon crawl where you're rolling dice, gathering weapons and treasure, and you're fighting off the evil horde and trying to complete certain missions. It is a great dungeon crawl game, one of the few ones I own in my collection, and I have a complete collection of Descent. Thank goodness. I'm not upset that Fantasy Flight hasn't done anything with it this year. I mean, I know they've made some improvements to the app, but they really haven't brought out anything new from this. Maybe they're thinking about a reprint, a 3rd edition. Will I get that? Maybe, if they did it, because I do love Descent, but I really hope they don't, because that's going to bankrupt me. And I still haven't made it through all the adventures of the second edition anyway. So I need to start working through that. The reason this drops 20 spots is because I missed out going to the beach. And at the beach is really where me and my nephews sit down, hunker down, and we slog through a ton of quests. Now, this Thanksgiving and also probably around the Christmas holidays, we will be playing this a lot more avidly. So it will get some more play time as the year ends. But right now, we just didn't get to play it. So that's why it drops 20 spots. Still, fun game. Love Descent, my number 32. And at last, at number 31, it was 39 on my list last year. This one has gone up 8 spots, and it just continues to rise. And wouldn't you know, it's from Queen Games. Eketorp. Oh, I don't have any other Viking games. If you're looking for Blood Rage on this list, it's not going to get on there, okay? I love Eketorp. Eketorp, you're basically a bunch of Vikings. There's resources on the board, and behind your player shield, you're placing out where you think you want your Vikings to go. You want to plunder here? Do you want to attack someone's fortress? And if you do, what area do you want to attack? Because there's 3 ways to attack them. You know, by sea, by land, and by catapult, you know. And so how do you want to attack them as well? Or do you want to leave Vikings in your fort to defend your goods that you've collected? It's so great. You're trying to build this fort. Now, whoever builds it first ends the game, but they don't win because there's different material on how you can build your fort. Grass, yeah, you can build a place out of fort out of grass, but it's the least amount of victory points. Where something like stone would be the most victory points, but there's not that much stone in the game. So you're basically combining stone, wood, grass. I can't remember what else is in the game, but there's tons of other things in the game, and you're just trying to deliver the best, you know, the most points to complete your fort, to fend it off. And also, the way you fight is you're playing these cards, and it's the same cards in your hand, but when you play it, if you win or lose, you switch cards to that player, and then once you've played all 4 cards, you pick them up. And you're thinking, I thought that's stupid. That's a dumb mechanism. No, there are tokens that if you have, maybe I won every battle because everyone played 1s against me, and now I have 4 1s in my hand, or maybe 3 1s and a 2. That sucks. I don't want this. I'm going to lose the next 4 battles. No, what I'll do is I'll cash in. You get these, I think there's like 4 or 5 of these little hammer tokens. You cash in the token, you can discard that and draw a new hand. Maybe good, maybe bad, but it can't be worse than what you have, or can it? I don't know, but then the players don't know what you have. I love that, but if you can save those tokens, those are victory points at the end of the game. Ah, so many choices. Sometimes you want to lose a battle. Sometimes you lose a battle, it's not too bad. Oh, that's another thing. When you lose, your Vikings will get hurt. Depending on the difference of how long, you know, if someone played a 6, you played a 1, your Viking's not going to come back for at least 5 rounds because he's out for 5. If he's out for 1, then he's just out for 1 round on the next turn. And you need Vikings to help you gather resources, attack other people, or guard your own fort. I love it. Love the game. Everyone who plays this game got a copy when it was super cheap online. I think now it may be out of print, but if you can find a super cheap copy, this is well worth your time. I think I'm the only person with an English review on YouTube about this game. And I know it's opened up people's interest in the game. That review has. But man, every time I play Eketorp, we just love it more. So it moves up again at number 31 on the list. All right, folks, that's all the time I have for now. Come back and see me. I've got 30 more games to talk about, and you don't want to miss it. See you then.